Have you ever felt like you're late? That everyone around you chose their path clearly and discovered their passion early on and launched into it like rockets, while you're still fumbling, trying this field a little, then getting bored and moving to another? You have many interests but don't master any of them completely. Society tells you you're scattered. Your father perhaps told you, focus on one thing, son, to succeed. Even best-selling books scream in your face, the 10,000-hour rule, early specialization is the key to genius. And you sit in your room at night consumed by anxiety. Did I miss the train? Have I condemned myself to failure because I didn't start when I was 5 years old?
Let me tell you something that might completely change your view of yourself and your past. What if I told you that this scattering you punish yourself for is actually your superpower that specialists lack? And what if I proved to you with definitive evidence that starting late is the only way to reach the top?
Our story today isn't just a book summary, but an attempt to save your talent from the molds the world tries to squeeze you into. Let's start with the story of two legends in the sports world to demolish the first and biggest lie we've all believed. In one corner, we have a child prodigy. At 7 months old, his father gave him a golf club. At 2 years old, he appeared on television screens, hitting shots with skill surpassing grown men. His life was a straight line drawn with a ruler: golf, golf, and more golf. His father believed that time was the enemy, and that every minute his son didn't spend training was a wasted minute for the competitors. This child is Tiger Woods, and he indeed became a golf legend, exactly as his father planned. His story is very appealing, isn't it? We love these stories. We love the idea that sacrificing childhood and insane focus from day one is the price of greatness. But wait a moment. In the other corner, we have another child who played squash with his father on Sundays, skied in winter, wrestled, swam, and played basketball. He tried everything and anything. His mother was a tennis coach, but refused to train him when he was young because his style was strange and she didn't like it. Even when he began leaning toward tennis as a teenager, he continued playing soccer. He didn't decide to specialize and focus on tennis until very late compared to his peers. According to the 10,000-hour rule, this young man should have failed. He should have been crushed by those who trained from their tender years. But this young man, named Roger Federer, became the greatest tennis player in history and sat atop the world rankings for long years in a way unprecedented. And here's the shock. When researchers studied the paths of successful people in the world, they found that Tiger Woods' story, the story of early specialization, is an extremely rare exception, while Roger Federer's story, the story of broad experimentation and late specialization, is the prevailing rule among the great in all fields. We live in a world that glorifies Tiger, but reality proves that true success lies in being like Roger. The painful question here: why do those who seem scattered succeed and outperform specialists who preceded them by years? The secret lies in one word: range. The ability to connect fields that have no relation to each other. But before we dive into how you can turn your scattering into a lethal weapon, let me ask you honestly, do you feel some relief now hearing that your winding path isn't a flaw? If these words touched a wound inside you or gave you a glimmer of hope, leave a quick like on this video and subscribe with me, because what's coming will completely reshape the way you think about your future.
Now let's return to the dangerous secret. Why do those with a holistic view excel? Because the world we live in is divided into two types of environments, and we're training for the wrong environment.
The first type is called kind environments. Imagine chess or golf. The rules are clear and fixed. They don't change. If you make a mistake, you immediately know the reason. Patterns repeat constantly. In this kind environment, repetition and early training, like Tiger Woods, work excellently. The more you repeat the movement, the better you become. The big problem is that real life, jobs, investments, relationships, even modern medicine, aren't kind environments. They're what the book calls wicked environments, or complex ones. In a wicked environment, the rules aren't clear and may suddenly change without warning. You might make a correct decision and fail, or make a wrong decision and succeed by chance. Feedback comes to you very late or never comes at all. Here lies the catastrophe that specialists fall into. The person who spent their whole life training on just one thing possesses a hammer, and when you possess a hammer, every problem you face in life looks like a nail. They try to apply patterns they memorized in the past to a completely different future.
As for the person who tried multiple fields, the person with wide range, they possess a complete toolbox. They're capable of borrowing an idea from music to solve a programming problem, or using a principle from psychology to understand stock market movements. In complex environments, in our real life, narrow, intensive experience may be an obstacle, not an advantage. Yes, excessive expertise may blind you.
Studies have proven that highly specialized experts are sometimes worse than amateurs at predicting the future in their fields because they're imprisoned within the tunnel of their specialization and don't see the complete picture. But this raises a very serious question now spinning in your mind. If moving between fields is beneficial, when should I stop moving and choose? And when does change become an escape from responsibility rather than a search for range?
The text continues with discussions about learning techniques, the concept of desirable difficulties, interleaved practice versus blocked practice, and examples of experts failing because they couldn't abandon their tools in crisis situations. The conclusion I want you to take from this long journey is that the world doesn't need more duplicate copies of Tiger Woods. Robots and algorithms will do repetitive and precise work better than any specialized human. The world needs you, with all your scattered experiences, with all your strange hobbies that have no relation to each other, with all the years you thought were wasted in trial and error. Those years weren't wasted. Those years were building you a unique toolbox that no one else on this planet possesses. Don't be ashamed of starting late. Don't fear changing your path if you discover you're in the wrong place. And don't let anyone convince you that narrow specialization is the only path to survival. The future belongs to those who connect the dots, not those who stare at a single point. The future belongs to those with range.